Good day, good people. Good day, good people. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of A Dope Black Dad. I am your host, Marcus Smothers. I just want to welcome everybody. We are here. We are good. Hey, it is the start of Mental Health Awareness Month. Yes, today, this month is the start of Mental Health Awareness Month. You guys know me. I'm a big advocate for mental health. I feel like it's something that we should not take lightly. I don't think it's something that we should just allow to be like a trending subject, but it is something that is very dear to my heart as someone who struggled with suicide before, someone who struggled with depression. It's just a combination of my faith in my family and therapy that has allowed me to continue to be here with you all. So, fellas, if that's something that you need help with, hey man, get it done because to sit and suffer in silence is not what it is. Here in Jacksonville, I have started the Anchor Group. So the Anchor Group is just it's a safe space for men. We're not here to counsel each other. We're not here to be each other therapists. We just here to sit down together for about 90 minutes a month to just talk. We just talk whatever's top of mind for somebody. And we just listen. If you want feedback or a thought partner on it, we're there for each other for it. But so if you're in the Jacksonville area and you want to attend the Anchor Group, check me out on my Facebook page, on Marcus Smothers' Facebook page, Dope Black Dad Facebook page. The dates will be up there for this month, so look forward to seeing you out there. All right, let's jump into today's episode for this week. Today, I'm going to talk about something that I experienced growing up my entire life. My parents used to always say something and it got on my nerves. I'm just be honest with you, it got on my nerves the entire time. Even when I hear it today, it still triggers me a little bit, but because I'm now older, I understand what the comment was. So this is it. Just keep living. That is something that I heard growing up in church, growing up with my family. It was just a term when you hear it at first as a child, it seems dismissive. It seems like you just trying to avoid my question because you don't really got an answer, or you don't want to talk about something, or like it's not helping me right now. Like, what does this mean? I used to hate hearing that statement just saying, just keep living. But now, you know, now that I've kept living, it makes more sense now at the age of 42, because like I said back then, I just felt like you didn't understand me. I felt like my parents didn't agree. They didn't know how to relate to me. They didn't know who I was. You was avoiding my questions. Y'all didn't know what to say. You didn't have no type of advice to give me. And I just wanted like an immediate answer or some type of solution to what I was currently dealing with. But for you to just tell me, just keep living, what I'm supposed to do with that now? But now, but now, at the age of 42, I understand that at that time, some of the lessons could not be explained. Some things you will understand only by just living through life. And life has taught me a lot of things that I think if my parents would have given me the answer at that moment, I wouldn't have believed them. But now that I'm at this age and I have my girls, I've been married, whew, just keep living because time has a way to reveal things that conversations can't. That sounded good, didn't it? Time has a way to reveal things that conversation can't. And I know for those of you who are listening, you have life has taught you a lot of things. You know, they used to say experience is the teacher of fools, but no, sometimes you need that experience. So life has to come in, and now I understand that they weren't really avoiding the answer. They just knew that I wasn't ready to understand it yet. They wasn't avoiding the answer. They just knew at that age of my life, I really did not have the capacity to really understand that. And you know, at that age, you just want it. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. And I wasn't ready for it. But now I understand what that phrase means. It means you got to trust the process and you got to stay in the process because life is going to hit you with things throughout the time where it's going to make you just want to quit. Keep going through seasons. I remember a season in my life where I unexpectedly lost my job, grant funded position. And if you ever had a grant funded position, you understand how those things work. The grant funds could be there today, but in 30 days, they might not be there. So I had a whole nother year left on the funds for the grant. But they came back and told us we had 90 days to spend all the money because there were no more funds coming in for this grant. And so while everybody else, they're getting there, they're trying to scramble for the funds and get everything done within 90 days. I'm sitting in the meeting raising my hand like, hey, what about me? Am I gonna have a job after these 90 days? Y'all checks not tied to this grant. My check is tied to this grant. My reason for being in this organization is for this grant. And so as life hit and that grant period came and went, I lost my job. But I still got a whole family to take care of. I still got kids that need to be taken care of. I got a mortgage that need to be paid. I got rent. I got all these things that needs to be taken care of. So what did I do? I can't sit on my hands and cry about it. I can't sit on my hands and say, "Well, I don't want that job. I don't want that job." Yeah, that's when I started driving trucks for Amazon. It wasn't the job that I wanted. That job had nothing to do with what I went to school for. But at that moment, I needed the job. So me and my pride climbed up in that Amazon truck and we dropped off packages every day. And but what's crazy about it is I enjoyed that job. I had so much peace in my life driving from house to house, dropping off y'all Amazon packages. I didn't take any work home. I was in the truck by myself, had my music going, and it was a great experience. But I also learned some things about me throughout that process also. So seasons coming, I didn't know that was going to happen. But as life happens, you got to keep turning and you got to keep going. And it also told me that, you just don't rush understanding. Everybody talk about how this current generation, they just want it now, want it now, want it now, want it now. Well, it's not just this current generation. That was something my generation struggled with for and previous generations before. When you're at a certain age in your life, you don't really have patience. You just want it now. You think about it, you want it, you go get it. You think about it, you want it, you go get it. And that's just how we live life. But sometimes as you get older, you get more wisdom. I guess all this gray in my beard, I'm gonna just say this is equivalent to wisdom, as they say. You understand that you don't rush the process. And you gotta allow life to teach you some things. I think one of the biggest things about me, I never allowed myself to say who can be my teacher. I allow anything that may come up. I'm trying to find some type of lesson out of it because growth is happening even when I don't see it. Like I'm a planter. I like growing sunflowers every year. It's about that time to grow some sunflowers this year. I just got my seeds. But I can't sit and plant the seeds and watch them every day. Go back and watch them every day. stand over and watch them every day. I can't do that. I got to trust the process and know that growth is happening even though I don't see it. Until one day I go out and I start to see that little sprout coming up. And then I think sometimes that's how it is, even as us with parents. We want to hover over our kids all of the time and make sure, are you growing? What you doing? You checking in? What you doing? And when we don't see instant results, we think they bad, or we think they not listening, or we think they just do what they want to do. No, it takes time. Life takes time. So all of these things happens, and like I said, it stems from just keep living. And now I'm love the fact that I am alive to experience these things, but it took a process to get here. And I resisted it, like I said, because I wanted my answers now. And one of the big secrets is this: we all love to be in control. We might not admit it, but we love being in control. We love being able to know when something is going to happen, determine the outcome of something, press play, and I know what's going to happen. That's why we can't sit through movies without talking, because we want to know what's going to happen. We want to be able to control the narrative of the movie. We want to control the narrative of our own lives. We want to control the narrative of our friends' life, of our kids' life. We always want to control the narrative, but that is not going to always happen. And we seek clarity in real time. Ask the question, give me the answer. Ask the question, give me the answer. I remember one thing I struggled with this. I struggle with this. I'm somebody, if you ask a question, I I immediately raise my hand and got an answer. But I remember I got around some other people and they challenged me with, "Hey, Marcus, why you won't just let it be okay with silence? Why you just give people time to process the question, because everybody's not a quick draw like you." And so that taught me to ask a question and let it breathe, and not always feel like I got to be the first one to answer to raise my hand because I want to look like I know it all. And early in my life, I didn't think it was me just wanting to impress people. I just figured I know the answer. Boom. I know the answer. Boom. No, it was because I really wanted to impress. And so now I learned to allow people processing time when I ask them questions, especially my kids, because they being okay with people tell you they don't know the answer. Like, we always ask people why they do stuff and they get mad when they don't have an answer. They don't have an answer. We don't always have answers to the things that we do or the why we do things we do. It may seem like it, we may pressurize it, but sometimes we don't immediately have answers, and that's okay. Because sometimes you will rush and answer a question and you didn't really give it a thought. But now that you just said it out your mouth, now you're looking crazy. All right, and we don't like uncertainty. We don't like things to seem uncertain. And so for my parents, listen, dad, your kids won't always ask questions you can fully answer. The goal of a parent is not to always have all the answers, because you will not have all of the answers. But you can guide, y'all can be thought partners, you can try to give understanding. And I would rather you say, I don't know, versus you just giving some little trash response. And now both of y'all looking crazy because you just wanted to look a certain way. And that helps them understand that clarity. It takes time. And that's okay. And what's really crazy is I hear myself saying, just keep living to my kids now. And it hits different. It hits different because now I've lived through life and now I understand the fullness and the magnitude of what my parents were saying. And sometimes we hate becoming our parents, but sometimes those innate behaviors they just come out and we can't do anything about it. But we balance that with our kids. We still got to give them guidance. We still got to give them wisdom, but then understanding some things life they just have to live through. With each of my girls, they've had experiences in their life that I wish that I could just go in and shift everything. And I had the power to go in and shift everything and make everything all right. But I did not have the green light to do it. Because if I always jump in and save the day, they won't have the opportunity to grow and see how they respond. I would rather you grow and make a mistake and respond right now while you're close to me versus me throwing you out into the world and then you make mistakes and don't even feel like you can come to me for help. And so even when they do make mistakes, I can't always bite your neck off, bite your head off. I gotta be there to, all right, let's just figure it out together. And I think one of the biggest things I've learned, and I start asking my kids when they come to me for stuff, like, do you want me to give you an answer or do you just want me to listen? Because that helps me understand what's needed from me in this conversation. Because it's not always needed for me to give an answer. Sometimes they just need me to listen. Now, sometimes they just want me to give them an answer. And that's what I do. So as we get ready to close, you guys know I always have a closing question to bring all of this together. What's something you didn't understand growing up that makes perfect sense now? What's something you did not understand when you was growing up, but it makes perfect sense now? Y'all can inbox me your answers, put it in the comments. I really want to hear how that looks for you. Just remember that life has a way of teaching us in layers. They say it's layers to this. It's levels to this. Well, for this, it's layers. It's layers to how life has its way of teaching. And understanding all of that comes with time. And some lessons, they just cannot be rushed. We have to allow them to breathe. And the last thought is this. Sometimes the best advice isn't the one that explains everything. It's the one that reminds you to keep going. I may not have all the answers to give you, but I want you to continue to go through with life and figure it out. All right, you all. That's been my time for today on the next episode of Adult Black Dad. Remember, as we welcome in this month of mental health awareness, I want everybody to take care of their mental health. If you need to find a hobby, if you need to find a safe space, connect with some people, and let's do that. Like, share, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, Spotify, listening to this. Just check me out. We are building more things over here. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and interact with us and let us know about the show. Please, please, please share this with somebody. Until next time, you all stay hydrated in this Jacksonville, Florida heat. I appreciate y'all, and I'm out.